Hello everybody, this is Tommy from Capital Discount Nutrition. Today I wanted to talk about CDT Labs Hypercuts Chrome. This is their new fat burner, really good for increasing mental acuity, focus, suppressing appetite, and accessing the fat around the midsection, especially the subcutaneous fat right in the belly. It's got the 2-amino-4-methylpentane citrate or AMP citrate. You'll also see it as 1,3-dimethyl-butylamine citrate. It's a mouthful. It's an ingredient that's replaced DMAA, really good for increasing mental acuity, focus, great fat burner. This is going to give you that overall feelings of well-being and make you feel like you're on something. So the AMP citrate, really good. That's the first ingredient. It's an 862 proprietary blend of ingredients. The next ingredient is caffeine. They use the dicaffeine malate and regular caffeine. Caffeine is good for releasing energy. It's a good fat burner. Great to have just because it's great to suppress appetite and make you more energized, so it makes you more active. The next ingredient is Norco Chlorine or Hypercuts. Hypercuts is a really good beta-2 agonist, able to access the fat around the midsection. The beta-2 or adrenal receptor sits on your fat tissue, and it's able to, when you activate it, release the fat in the bloodstream to be burned up as a source of fuel. So the Norco Chlorine or Hypercuts, you'll see it in either which one. I mean, sometimes they say Hypercuts, sometimes you'll see it as Norco Chlorine. Really good beta-2 agonist. The next is Neringen. Neringen is found in grapefruit. Neringen is able to potentiate or increase the effectiveness of stimulants, so it makes them last longer. It does interfere with some pharmaceutical drugs. That's why they always say they caution against eating grapefruit and taking a pharmaceutical drug because it can increase its effectiveness. So Neringen is a flavonoid, good antioxidant, good for your cardiovascular system. CDT Labs added it in here because it increases the effectiveness of the stimulants. Then you have R-Beta Methylphenylethylamine or R-Beta Methylphenylethylamine. It's really good neuromodulator, good for increasing mental acuity, focus. It's an anorectic agent, means without appetite, so it's going to be able to really help just boost overall feelings of well-being, suppress appetite. It'll kind of remove your cravings for those in-between meals, carbohydrates. Great addition in there. The R-Beta Methylphenylethylamine is really more of an active form of phenylethylamine. So you're going to notice it a lot more and it's going to last longer because usually that's broken down by the monoamine oxidase inhibitor. Next we have Rowalfia. Rowalfia has standardized the root extract for 90% alpha Yohimbine. Alpha Yohimbine is by far one of the most popular fat burners on the market. It's been studied. It's a good beta-2 adrenal receptor agonist, so it's good to help release that fat in the bloodstream to be burned up as a source of fuel. And it's an alpha-2 adrenal receptor antagonist. Now the alpha-2 adrenal receptor sits on the omental or the subcutaneous fat and inhibits fat release. So what the Yohimbine can do is it can antagonize it. So when it antagonizes it, then the fat can be released in the bloodstream to be burned up as a source of fuel. So really good addition in there with the Rowalfia. So that's standardized at 90% alpha Yohimbine. So it's a very strong alkaloid. And that's also good too for increasing mental acuity, focus, and suppressing appetite. And then the last ingredient, or then they have Hperzine A. Hperzine A is a cholinesterase inhibitor, really good for protecting acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter, so it's going to be really good for memory retention and increases cerebral blood flow to the brain, so oxygen capacity, all your neurons. So that's really good to just kind of boost overall mental acuity. Mental acuity is the key thing because anytime you go on a diet, you start taking a fat burner, you want to make sure that fat burner is going to be able to boost overall feelings of well-being because now you're cutting out the foods that are activating the pleasure center in the brain. So this way you got all these other ingredients that are able to just make you feel good. So when you go on the diet, you start eating more fruits and vegetables, and you start really just cutting back on all the sweets, the carbohydrates, and the dairy products, you're going to be able to feel good and not, notice that kind of, depressed feeling which many people experience. That's part of the yo-yo dieting effect. So that's why I love fat burners and love some of these ingredients because they really make a difference. And the last ingredient is capsicum annuum. Capsicum annuum has capsaicin, which is basically cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is a really good fat burner, really good for circulation and digestion. It's something that when you take, it's going to increase the absorption of all the nutrients. So it's going to really help increase the absorption of all these different ingredients that are in the Hypercuts. Also has a nice good warming effect, increasing blood flow, especially to the heart, so you feel good, great for cardiovascular health. It's a good source of B6, vitamin A, manganese, which is an enzyme activator. So having the capsaicin in there, well, it's actually the capsicum annuum, which is cayenne pepper, is going to be really good for absorption of all these nutrients. And it's a great fat burner. Like Yohimbine, there's the studies that are out there showing its effectiveness. So this is 60 capsules. You do one in the morning and then one sometime in the afternoon. I recommend taking this with a small meal. So first thing in the morning, just have some kind of a snack, or if you use a shake, it's fine. Just take one capsule. And then sometime in the afternoon, don't take it any later than 3 or 4 o'clock. If you go to bed around 10 or 11, because that'll keep you up with the stimulants. Thank you very much for watching.